Hello, welcome to Hard Rock Nation. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change strings on a Floyd Rose electric guitar. I'll be changing strings on my Jackson King V. Right here you can tell that the strings are really bad. It's time for a string change. You notice this has a Floyd Rose on it. It's a pretty sweet looking guitar. It's got the locker nut, dreaded locker nut. Them things suck. You got to make sure you spend money on a good quality nut when you have to replace one. Jackson Professional. 1982. That instrument. Great instrument. But I'm going to be showing you how to change strings on it. Now, a guitar of this nature is a lot more involved. Like a whole lot more involved than a regular guitar. Like I showed you yesterday. That was a pretty much the standard instrument. You have to have a tool like this. It's just a wrench. But you have to have something that goes up against the body that allows the bridge to be flat and like a hardtail guitar. Like that one. That guitar right there is a hardtail. You notice the strings are shiny. Just changed them yesterday. It's really easy to change strings on a guitar like that. This guitar, it can be a pain in the butt. So, let me put you down right here. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything I do. What you have to do, you have to take this wrench right here, and you have to put it underneath of the bridge right here in this area. We'll go under it like that. Have to make sure that it's proper, so you have to adjust all of the fine tuners so when it'll be right when you go to tighten it down on there. But you also have to make sure that the fine tuners are not deaded out. It smells like rust too. But you'll notice when you're done and you're all this thing will slide right out, and that'll let you know that your bridge is officially level with the body. This thing right here is just a placeholder. So I'm gonna put that there, and you're gonna take an Allen wrench. I think it's 2mm. One of these things. And you're gonna stick it in the end of each of the saddles. You're gonna stick it in the end of each of these saddles right here, and you're gonna undo it. But first, you have to undo the nut right here with the same Allen. So let me get that done for you real quick. This guitar right here had an issue with the nut. I had a hard time finding a proper nut for it, and I finally found the right nut. And even still, after finding the right nut, I had to do a little bit of work on the neck to make it match up properly, because the nut was pretty fat compared to the one I had on it. So now that you got those off, now you can kind of see. Let me show you. Now you got those off. Now you can kind of see how the nut is all, undone. You can see how it, if you look carefully, you can see how it kind of like puts a toll on the strings right there. But you notice they look practically new up there because you don't touch them. And then down here, oh yeah, that's time for a replacement. So let me put you right here. Hopefully you can see. Granddad successfully passed his surgery today. Yay! So we're celebrating with changing the strings on this guitar. So now what you're gonna do? Now comes the easy part. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna undo it with your string winder. Right here, you're gonna take this thing and you're gonna put it underneath of the bridge, so it holds the bridge. Might want to put a towel under there. Would be a good idea. Myself, I'll just open this set of strings right here before I put too much tension on it. Oh yeah, classic string smell. Before I put too much tension on it, I'll just go ahead and put this cut off string situation on there. That way I have a nice barrier protecting the paint on the guitar. Because I noticed with this guitar, paint likes to come off. Because why? It's a King V. It's very pointy. I love pointy guitars. Rhodes loved pointy guitars, and there came the idea of the King V. So what you're gonna do? Hit your left hand. You're just gonna undo all these strings. Same way I said yesterday. Make sure the holes are pretty much straight with it. Do a couple wraps, couple full turns with the tuning machines. Sometimes I like to pluck the string and hear it drop, the note drop. It's kind of fun to do. Like for example, this D string, this G string. If you listen, it'll drop. Yeah, that string right there was actually about to pop. You can tell because when you undo it from it gets all curly, like it's under so much tension, when really it's not. That's how you know it's time to replace the strings. So you keep on doing these right here, like this with the string winder, all the way around. If you slip up, just continue doing it. Keep going around and around like that until you get the tuning machine straight. Do the same thing with the high E string. Make sure you get plenty of wraps off on that one, because there's usually lots of wraps on a string like that. And now you can start taking. Now comes the second part. Now you got tension on this part of the bridge right here. Now what you can do is now you're going to take this Allen key right here and you're going to stick it through each of those holes right there. Now these are usually extremely tight because you don't want them flying out. Especially when you're doing pullbacks and stuff. So I'm going to do like 3 turns with each one. They should all come out nicely. Now a guitar of this nature, the string, it's a much longer process, so this video might be upwards of 25 minutes. Because with a guitar like this, you have to change all the strings at once. Because if you have an old string on there, it will affect the balance and tuning of the instrument. Because the old string won't intonate as good as the new string. So, which is the string length between the end of the saddle and the edge of the nut. That's what intonation is. Most important thing when it comes to playing guitar is to make sure your intonation is just right. Otherwise, the instrument is practically unplayable. It's like a Floyd Rose. When you break a string on a Floyd Rose, the thing practically becomes unplayable because the balance it was relying on when that string broke was helping the bridge to be level. And when it goes back, all the strings get tighter, therefore sounding like crap when they come out of tune. Now I'll say these strings. I won't say this high E string because this string right here was actually a B string. So this right here is trash. It's no longer going to serve me any good because it won't. It never intonated properly. It's half the reason why I got a fresh set of strings for all my instruments but one. Which I'll need to get in the future. Some fresh set of strings for my Rhodes V. I'll do a string change video on that one too probably. But I'll show you my hands just so you can see how much rust and corrosion develops on this guitar. Because I haven't played this guitar in about a day or two. You're going to really see just how bad finger sweat is for electric guitar strings. It will kill your guitar strings. That's why you have to wipe them down, even new strings. You have to wipe them down. If you don't wipe them down, well, expect them to only last a week. If you wipe them down, make sure the string is clean when you're done playing the instrument. String will likely last for longer. Now, sandpaper is a good idea, but you want to use the finest grit sandpaper you can. That way you keep the rust and corrosion off the string. But you'll notice over time the string will get thinner and the string will end up breaking anyways, so it's a good idea, period, to change them once a month. Because they'll just keep breaking on you. It becomes extremely aggravating, especially if you're playing a gig. Oh yeah. Talk about a pain in your butt. You can only imagine jamming out with somebody in the middle of a song, string breaks. Guess what? That guitar is wasted until you get a fresh string for it, a replacement string for it. Because you can't use that instrument. You have to have all six. You may be wondering, no, you don't. Well, yeah, you do. If you're playing soloing and you're a lead guitarist for the band, let's say, if that string breaks, it sucks. Because guess what? It's over. It's over for you. All right. So, like yesterday, you'll notice that there's a buildup of dust and debris on this guitar over the time that I've been playing it, and it's not too bad on headstock because I like to keep that clean. A lot of times I get lazy. I get lazy. Very lazy. Very, very lazy. Hopefully I can get this thing to be supported. There you go. Alright. So now what we're going to do, you're going to take your, hold on a second. You're going to take your brush. Oh my goodness. Let me put this Marshall head a little bit further back. There you go. Now you actually have a decent thing to sit on. Alright. Sorry about the dropping of the camera. The average individual drops their phone 209 times a year. That's the probably 10th time I've dropped the phone. Okay. Alright, so you're going to take the brush. And you're going to just wipe it down. Once again. You want to take pride in your work. You want the guitar to look halfway decent. You have to intonate it. I ain't intonated a Floyd Rose before, so I'm going to try to attempt it today. But once you get all the strings on, you're going to have to intonate the instrument. You can actually intonate an instrument if it doesn't have a tremolo system with one string on. So, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I have all of the instrument wiped down. Now we're going to put some love into it. Let me put my love into you, babe. Let me put my love on the line. AC/DC. just gonna rub it with this pre-oiled cloth. Very, very light oil. Very light. Every fret, in between each fret. Just gonna keep wiping it. Gonna also wipe the pickups. Wipe it. You gotta put some elbow grease on it. Because this guitar is my main workhorse. And I've hated that it's been down for the count for a while. It's time to fix that issue. Okay, so now that I got that straightened away, you notice it's much darker. Let me adjust the brightness. Now you got the now it's got the oiled fretboard and the oiled pickups. You notice the fretboard is much darker in color. It's the way it's supposed to be, especially if it's rosewood, like this fretboard is on this guitar. So now that that's done, you don't need the sock no more, so you can go ahead and throw that away. Now what we're going to do, now we're going to actually start changing the strings on the instrument. So what you're going to do, you take these old strings that you took off of the instrument. Look at how bad these strings were. Look at this. Look at this. That's horrible. And take the strings out of the package. You're going to put the old strings. You notice there's a code in there. It's for like a rewards program. I don't believe in any of that stuff. Trust me. The reason why I don't is because getting a free set of strings, you have to buy like upwards of 50 or 60 sets of strings before you get one free set of strings. So it's not worth it. And there's your pack of strings with the old ones in there. I'm gonna put that away in the back of your Marshall amp if you have one. Then there's that. So now, what we're going to do, we're going to put this right here. Don't need this anymore. Put that away. Don't need the scissors no more. I'm going to put that away. And since I've gotten back home today from tree work, helping Dad with the tree work stuff, tree work business, earlier, I'll have the ability to play guitar for longer today. Okay, so starting with I always like to start with the thickest string first. So this is how you do it. Undo the string, unwind it from here like this. And I like to thread this end, the ball end, through the tuner. You gotta make sure you adjust all of the tuning machines to make sure they are the right way. Now, if this was a regular hardtail instrument, it likely wouldn't stay in tune because of the weird headstock. Acoustic guitars usually stay in tune pretty well because they are they're straight headstocks, so you don't really have to worry too much about those guitars. So what you do, you just put the string through there and you tighten it up with the Allen key right here, like this. Have to make sure that when you tighten it up, it's tight. Because otherwise, it's going to want to, slip out. You have to do the pull test. Just like when you're an electrician. You have to do the pull test. Make sure your wires are properly secured to the outlet. And you do the same thing again for all 6 strings. I wish I knew how to do the fast forward mode. That would make this video half as long. Because for this video, we gotta go all the way, baby. So you can see how it's done. Then again, you take the end of the string and you go into the saddle of the Floyd Rose. And you're gonna take your Allen key. You're gonna tighten her up. Make sure she's tight. If you hear metal creaking noises, that just means you need to oil it. I should do that so that my metal parts on my Floyd Rose last longer without having to replace Floyd Rose parts, which I have had before. It's a waste of money. You want to keep it. You want to keep the original parts that were on it. If you got to replace the nut, that's about all you want to replace. Everything else, try to keep it original. Which, unfortunately, the original nut that came on this guitar was wasted because somebody decided to pneumatic nailer or pneumatic air gun or whatever screw the thing on there. Somebody decided to do that. Bad idea. Very bad idea. Because why? That means that when I had to actually use a pneumatic gun to get it off. That was the only way to get the string off. Was to use a pneumatic gun. Because I couldn't do it by hand, and that killed the nut. So, which all I would have had to have done, I realized this way after I got this nut situation. All I would have done to prevent that old nut from going bad was to, before I undid the nut, I should have oiled the nut thoroughly with some WD-40, and that would have probably fixed the nut not wanting to cooperate. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn. This guitar has been through lots of changes, actually. This guitar was all chrome at one point, too. I did that to it. It looked really cool for a while. Then I got tired of it, and I was like, you know what? I like heavy metal, so I'm going goth. I'm going goth. So I blacked it all out again like it was when I got it. Okay. Go Wes Borland, man. Guitar is almost just like his guitar, too. Except it's not a lefty turned into a righty. He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite guitar players of all time. His style is so unique. So once you got your string in there, let me try to show you. All right. So you got your string right here through the tuning machine way over there. You're gonna thread the end of the string right here into this part of it. I'm gonna try to do this only looking at the camera. And then after you put that in there, then you're gonna tighten it up. Let me put you down for a second. You're gonna put it through there, then you're gonna tighten it up like this. See how the Allen key goes in there? You're gonna turn it righty-tighty. Now with the higher strings, you have to make sure that's tight. because especially with a fresh set of strings, it will, for sure, it will come out. Now that you've seen how to do it, now you notice it's in there. You barely see it because the string is so shiny, paper thin. See, I can barely see that. Isn't that funny? You can barely see that. It's so thin, barely see it. Look, you can't see it. The camera won't pick it up. But this is the string right here. Oh yeah, that's a skinny string. Using those Ernie Ball hybrid slinkies again today. They're my favorites. All my guitars would have them on there. It doesn't really matter what kind of strings. It just matters is that if you get playable ones. If you can play 13s, play 13s. If you can play 9s, play 9s. It's all about experimentation. If you like a certain gauge of strings, that's the way it is. Alright. Now looks like a mess. But I got all the strings connected through there, strung through each of the slots. And the guitar is really close to being strung. Alright, we're halfway there. We got the first section, lock 1 of the Floyd Rose tremolo system. A Floyd Rose tremolo system is a double locking. So it locks here at the bridge, and it locks here at the nut. That's why the tuning stability on an instrument like that is off the chain. So I'm going to do the exact same thing like I did yesterday. Let me put you down here for a second. So I'm going to do the high E string first. I don't usually do that, but we're doing it today. So you go back about a good inch. Then you do a Z bend. Then you take your Allen wrench, not your Allen wrench, but your string winder, and you start winding the string. Show you my situation. See how it's bent right here? You got the other part of the string hanging down. Like that is the way you're supposed to do it. Now let me get this on her a good distance. That way you can see. This is a chore you have to do as they're doing the dishes, and get seasoning packets from up there high on the shelf for your mom is enough of a chore as it is. Restringing your guitars is also a chore that you have to do. And once you got it up high enough on there, you're going to bend the string so it's out of your way. And just keep tightening. Keep on cranking. Until you get the string tight, but not too tight. Now that I got the string on there, now that one string is officially done. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut it. You're going to take your cutters. You're going to cut them good distance about here. Video limit size almost reached. So here we go. And that's how you change the strings on a Floyd Rose electric guitar. Justin out.